And then we go back to Rob Huff, who's 7th in the number 14 car. Tony Quinn 8th in the GT only race, and that's Quinn. That is Tony Quinn.
He's got off in the 77 Aston Martin right on the fastest part of the circuit. There's 2 cars involved.
Oh no, the JBS Lambo involved.
Yeah, it is the number 11 car, and that is Russell at the wheel of that car. There's wheels all over the Conrod Straight. Driver's left is the Aston, driver's right is what's left of the Lamborghini, and Tony Quinn's facing the wrong direction. Everybody's checking up as the field goes through. We're going to have another full course caution. There's a Porsche off there as well. There's 2 cars off, in fact. There's the Porsche number 71. So, oh my goodness me. Watch the top of the screen if you can see the pictures at the moment. It's 3 wide coming down the hill, and it starts a long way back. It's Chris Porrett's involved as well. Chris Porrett in the St. Gallion Aston Martin. So the 2 Astons, and Chris Porrett's got right-hand front damage to that car as he pinballs down the outside, and Tony Quinn behind him.
Big hit for Quinn too, but this is the replay from on board Chris Porrett's car. So there's the impact of the Lambo squeezing through. So David Russell up the inside, big contact for that car. And then Porrett is just a passenger. It looks like broken steering on the V8 Vantage Aston, and comes to a firm hold. Let's go to pit lane. Here's Shay Adam with Peter Cox.
Peter Cox, this is your 2nd time to this track, but you have yet to race in it. You'll have to wait another year, unfortunately. What happened out there?
At the moment it was very difficult to see for us at the TV, so we don't know exactly what happened with Dave. Main thing is okay, and it was a shame because I think the team was on a good strategy, and I think if the fuel stops would occur we would have been in the lead, but that's how it is, and it's very unfortunate. I think the team did everything right this weekend till now, and it's really, this race is like this, and you have to have also a little bit of luck, and we don't have it.
Will you be back next year to try again?
Obviously, I mean, I progressed already a lot because last year I only did 2 laps in free practice, and now I had a chance to qualify the car. I qualified it, I think, really well. I was P4. I was really happy with my performance, and so at least I can take that back, and I really would like to come back to this track because it's fantastic.
Thank you.
There is full speed down here, I can tell you that. I was just about to have a chat with Trevor Schumacher, Michelin Tyres. Unfortunately had to run off. A lot of the teams are struggling at the moment, saying there's a lot of debris out there on the circuits, and that's causing issue at the moment with plenty of these tyres. Throughout the day, as of course you know, guys, the temperature's going to change from the cool conditions this morning to about midday, 1 o'clock, where we're probably going to get our maximum temperature. The teams have to be right across their tyre pressures right throughout this race, because once they send them out there, they can't bring them back in to nobble those temperatures down. At the moment though, at Mount Panorama here in the past, we've seen issues with ripple strips. Not the case today, but the debris out on the track, particularly from that crash on Conrod Straight, the fastest part of this circuit, is causing an issue for many of the teams. They're worried about punches, so watch this space.
It's going to be something to take care of over the course of the race, Boydo. Here's how they run at the end of the first hour. It's a jumbled up leaderboard with half of the leading contenders having stopped and the others remaining on the racetrack during this safety car period. But Mika Salo and Maranello Motorsport leading the way, and they lead the way in Darrell Lee Class A as well on our Michelin leaderboard. You can see the class leaders here at the 2013 Liquimoli Bathurst 12 hour, right down to Mel Rose leading Invitational in his Holden Commodore.
And bringing you bang up to date now, as I was mentioning before we went through the Michelin update there, number 88, Mika Salo still leads the motor race, but the car that's the one to look out for now, I think, is going to be the 3rd place car, the Audi R8 number 1. Harold Premat started it. He's made a pit stop. He's got a tank full of fuel, pretty much. You can see him there on the screens, and he's sitting very handily placed, 3rd place overall in this race. But once we go green, then he's got the most fuel. He'll be able to stay out the longest. And the other cars that have made pit stops are all quite a long way back, particularly the number 33, the Dragon Speed car, and so and also the number 88, Mika Salo. That car is going to have to be next to pit because he hasn't been into the pits at all as they go green flag racing again at the start of lap 18.
And Salo got a great jump away there, didn't he? He was really on his mettle. You can't be snoozing. As soon as you see those lights go off, you've got to be ready to go racing because there's traffic to be passed. There's no wave arounds. The Darrell Lee safety car is back in the pit lane, and now it's all about that concentration level. You've been sitting there for a while. humming a tune in your head, picking your fingernails, whatever it is that drivers do behind the safety car, and now instantly you've got to be back on it.
As Rob Huff makes a move, just working his way up, the World Touring Car Champion, reigning World Touring Car Champion, doing an outstanding job early on. The point Paul Trustwell makes about cars needing to pit soon, this is now pit window open, because generally it's between 45 minutes to an hour. We've got to an hour, but we've had half the race so far in a safety car, so they would have used less fuel and they will go longer into the race. But generally 22 to 26 laps is a pit stop window for these cars around Mount Panorama. So that Ferrari now out in front in clear air for at least the next lap and a half before it gets to some lap traffic, will be able to put its head down, try and build the margin. And if we go to green flag pit stop, it's going to work for Mika Salo. He'll be out in front.
Yes, it will, but of course that is the heavy Ferrari, the one with the 50 kilograms on board. So that will affect its fuel consumption. You know, you can drive the car as fast as you like, but you'll be using more fuel because of the extra weight.
Yeah, and let's just remind everybody, the reason that car's got 50 kilos is not out of sheer devilment from anybody. That Alan Simonson broke out of the 206 bracket, which is in position to keep everybody in the field, and the drivers knew it, and he didn't quite get his delta time right as he came round through qualifying. 50 kilos applied to that car, and they will carry it for the whole race. I do think it's smart. We were talking about smart tactics from some of the other teams, including the Clearwater Racing Ferrari, the 33 car, earlier on. I think this is good tactics from the 88 team, to be quite honest, as we've got side-by-side racing down the Conrod Straight again with the two Erebus Mercedes-Benz absolutely together, and right in behind them there is the Squirt One World. I think he said Aston Martin for no reason at all. Audi R8 LMS, the battle of the German manufacturers here. We haven't talked too much about the BMW Z4 that is in this race, and they have just been stealthing around the bottom end and outside of the top 10, still to find some performance for that car at the moment. The pride of Germany and the battle on the Liqui Moly 12 hours of Bathurst is all between the big German manufacturers, behind that camouflaged Ferrari of Mika Salo.
So Salo leads, yeah, and the BMW second. Christian Poulsen, not probably known massively to Australian racing fans, but he is an unbelievable talent. So he's got that car up to second for the event sponsor Liqui Moly. Pramat third for Audi, so Ferrari, BMW, Audi. Davison fourth, Alex Davison, Porsche Carrera Cup champion, full-time V8 racer, is fourth outright in the Class B Porsche. So they've just continued to pound around, and they've got track position nice and early. Patterson in the United Autosports Audi is fifth. Wyatt in the AF Corsa Ferrari up to sixth. Johnny Reed seventh in another Class B Porsche, the Hunter Sports Group car. Rob Huff is eighth and doing a very good job in this early stage, as you'd expect from a world champion in the Audi. O'Donnell ninth in the BMW. Tim Slade 10th in the Erebus Mag.
Now, while we've been watching and going through the leaders, this is our Class D leader, the V8 race high performance production car class leader. Grant Ian and Michael Sharon just having a trip through the gravel at Maguire's corner, but they will live to fight another day.
Yeah, so I just mentioned, as we were mentioning a moment ago, Class B, the GT3 cars being led by Alex Davidson, car number 12, the Porsche GT Cup car there in fourth place overall. In Class C, which are the GT4 cars, the leader there is car number 54, the Donut King Nissan GTR, Peter Liemhaus, in the lead of that class, and he is in 26th place overall. In Class D, the faster of the two production classes, that's the province of the number 19 Sherin Rentals BMW 135, and that car is in 34th place overall. And the Class E leader, the less modified of the production classes, that's the Racer Industries car number 3, the Holden Astra, which has Damien Ward behind the wheel at the moment, the car that Ivo Brokers will be sharing later on as well. That car is in 37th place overall. As far as the invitational classes are concerned, the leader in Class I3 is the number 44, the Melrose Racing Holden VY Commodore, now in the hands of Adam Wallace. They've had a pit stop and driver change in 19th place overall. In I2, the leader there is the number 55 Motorsport Services Seat Leon Super Copper, and that is Clint Harvey, who's driven the car since the start of the race, although that car has had a pit stop as well. well. And in Class I1, the leader of the I1 class is car number 60, the One Cova Motion Sport car, the Lotus Elise, a Peter Story.
There's the 88 Maranello Ferrari in pit lane, and Shay, it looks like that car's got some damage on the front end, that front corner.
It does. They have tape prepared if they need it, but it honestly doesn't look too bad. The car just has a little bit of scraping on the wheels and on the tire black, but other than that, the car looks to be in fairly good sorts. Miko's just getting out and belting up his co-driver. I'll try and grab a word with him soon.
It looks as if they are only going to fuel that and send it, Shade, despite the fact that there's damage on the wheel rims. That car sitting at the moment waiting to be fired up. They didn't get that car out perhaps as quickly as it should have been. The driver change done, but it was fueled and no tyres, despite the fact that there was clear damage and scuffing to those wheel rims on the right-hand side as it avoided the Porsche Ginetta incident earlier on.
I'm surprised in